We will be talking about Lilibet's birth certificate in this video. I will be using two commentaries regarding this particular subject. One is from Lady C and Dan Warden, and the other one will be from Paula M, from Paula M's channel. But before I do that, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Let's take a listen at this video first about how Meghan Markle is going wild after Netflix shuts down her cooking show, and then we'll talk about Lilibet's birth certificate and all the good stuff.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Yeah.
So Meghan Markle wanted to be the next Martha Stewart, but Netflix just handed her a recipe for disaster. Yup, they pulled the plug on her cooking show before it even preheated, and she did not take it well. We're talking jam jars that were more branding than baking. A lemon zest moment that turned into a full-on PR flop. Email campaigns sent to her toddlers. Yes, actual babies. And tears that looked like they were scheduled right before golden hour.
This is about connecting with friends and just learning. Let's go.
So here's what went down. Meghan Markle had this big vision, a cooking show for Netflix that was supposed to show her in a softer, more relatable light. But according to inside sources, the pitch didn't land at all. Netflix execs weren't impressed. One insider said it felt shallow, overproduced, and completely unbelievable. Instead of giving homey vibes, it came off like a carefully curated PR stunt. There were no real cooking struggles, no actual messes, just polished countertops, color-coordinated dishes, and of course, perfectly edited monologues about balance and motherhood.
This is coming after the chef at the Netflix show. He exposed Meghan's inability to cook. He basically dropped some nukes on her cooking career by saying that she should not be doing any cooking show simply because she doesn't have any experience, she doesn't have any knowledge about cooking. And at the same time, we have seen how unhygienic Meghan had been. Therefore, this whole fuss she created around being able to cook and serve and do jam and jar and all those things is falling apart. Netflix, many reports suggest they are not going to be renewing for season 2. They will not do it again, and therefore this was the last, if you like, a program that Netflix did with Meghan Markle. After this there will be no more because of how flop this whole cooking show was. I want you to take a listen at this first.
Full occasion when it was announced that Meghan had given birth to a daughter whom she named Lilibet against the Queen's wishes. After all, why start following the Queen's wishes now? What's the point? So yes, it was announced that Lilibet was born in Santa Barbara on June 4th, 2021. Suddenly, weird things started to happen because the obstetrician who helped deliver Lilibet shut her practice with little notice, telling patients she needs to focus on my own health and be with my family. Her name is Dr. Melissa Drake. And her husband happens to coincidentally own a fertility clinic. But she quit with given barely 10 days notice to patients, which is unheard of. And of course, we all happily celebrated Lilibet's first birthday. Remember that cute picture that was allegedly taken?
Melissa Drake was supposed to be at the hospital the day Lilibet was supposed to born. According to some reports, she was not at the hospital. Her husband later on confirmed that news. I actually talked about this almost 2 years ago, discussing and explaining to you guys about Melissa Drake's schedule on that day. So this is coming from one source. Other sources claim that she shut down her chamber. She shut down her business 10 days a week before the baby was born or after the baby was born. But at the end of the day, what really stands is that there is huge confusion surrounding the birth of this child that we call Lily. This is why people like Lady C, Paula M, and many other commentators on this matter, they have raised their doubts and suspicions over and over again. For example, Paula, she mentioned in this particular video her title as Lilibet's quote, Lilibet's adoption exposed. The palace cannot deny it now. Take a listen a little bit more.
Taken in London, and now we found out that that is not true, that actually these children have never come, at least They haven't returned to London since Harry and Meghan left. For at least 2-3 years, I have been trying to get a copy of the birth certificate for Lilibet because it seems that the newspapers are able to get it. I don't know how, but I haven't been able to get it. And I've shared the emails with you guys. I am sharing it with you once more. As you can read here, this is me writing to the Vital Records Office of California, complaining that I paid the $43 fee and I didn't get, I was told that there are no details of any child born with the name Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor on June 4th, 2021.
Not only this, if you do not know, I have also tried to find out some school record of Lily and Archie, not for Lily, for Archie. And lo and behold, there was no solid record or evidence that Archie was admitted to the school that Meghan alleged, Meghan said. This, again, is something that is highly suspicious and very, very important at the same time for us to discuss because they are in the line of succession. If something happens, God forbid, to the family of Prince William, then of course, can you imagine children who are not born from the royal family will be inheriting royal family? That is why this matter is so important. This is why we discuss about this particular topic in this channel and elsewhere over and over again.
And as you can see, this is their response telling me 2 days later that greetings, thank you, they couldn't find it. So they are going to issue a certificate of no public record, CNPR.
Unbelievable. Certificate of no public records. And with the record they have, they're very, very contradictory. Sometimes you will see the name is changed or the name is spelled differently or the titles are used different ways in different places. It's a total mess, including Meghan's own name appeared differently on different birth certificates. So, of course, something is absolutely fishy.
Well, I understand that 105 is Colorado.
Yes.
So, and Meghan and Harry have asserted that the child was born, I forget the name of what the hospital was, in Santa Barbara. And I mean, they came up with an elaborate story. Remember how Meghan was very peckish on the way to Lily's delivery, and therefore they had to stop for hot tacos or some such thing to aid the delivery of the baby. Well,
feel extreme fatigue or have
aid the delivery of the baby. And when we talk about delivering of the baby, what comes to our mind is how they have made up a whole story about the delivery of Archie in UK, where we have talked about the epidural, the hysterectomy, the pain, the labor, and all of those things Meghan was going on. And the purpose or the conclusion from those videos is that it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
There are a lot of disparities, as there have been with Archie's birth, and I think good on Paula for having come up with that. There has been talk. Oh, Birkenhead. Oh my dear. Dan, it's just amazing. I don't know if you're aware of it, Dan, but even though Jim is 32 years old and Misha, I'm still pregnant with him. And, the bump keeps on coming and going.
I mean, it's all because they did claim, didn't they, that she was born at Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital. I think that was the claim at 11:40 Pacific time on the 4th of June, 2021.
And that the female obstetrician who assisted with the birth then shut down her practice immediately at the end of that month, and any of her patients who were relying on her were left in the lurch. And she's also married to a specialist in eggs and things. And I forget the term used, but in terms of designer babies. So it's a husband.
When a doctor gets involved in a high-profile delivery of a baby, well, I use the word high-profile because of Meghan's connection with the royal family. They do not shut down their business. What they really do is they actually get more publicity. they make more money, they become famous. Can you think about any incident where a high profile personality delivered a baby and then the doctor office shut down? If you take a look at what happened with Amber Heard, the lawyer, I forgot her name, the lawyer of Johnny Depp, she became so famous overnight that she got high profile cases after the win, the court victory for Johnny Depp, that she helped tremendously. Then you have Meghan Markle's, this is exactly the opposite. Instead of Melissa Drake getting more high profile patients, with connection with the Hollywood or somewhere else in the politics, she shut down her business. If that doesn't really sound the alarm in your head, I don't know what else. This is so bizarre, this is so strange, and this is so not normal at all.
The wife team. There are, again, a lot of inconsistencies. And my own feeling is that it is in the interests of this, not only in the interests, it is the right of the citizens of all of the countries of which the king is monarch and of which those children are entitled to a place in the line of succession, that all these disparities be cleared up. All
100%.
Now, we're constantly being bombarded with the new fresh lifestyle Meghan, but a stunning piece in the UK Telegraph this week about how she doesn't have time to cook. Well, this is not very on brand, is it, Louise?
No, it's not very on brand, but maybe it's another example of optics over authenticity for Meghan. So this is her podcast, The Confessions of a Female Founder. And in this, she's revealed that, probably like the rest of us, she does actually get takeaway food every now and then. But what Meghan does is sort of elevate it by adding vegetables from her own garden, clearly organic, and sort of jazzes up this food so it doesn't look like something which has come straight from Uber Eats like the rest of us. So I guess you could argue that she's being more realistic in this way by saying she does get the occasional takeaway dish, but, at the same time, her mission is to be this lifestyle guru, to be this expert on creating food from scratch. And I really don't think that you'd see Martha Stewart claiming to add a few bits of chopped chives or flowers or whatever it is on top of her takeaway food. So it's a bit of an own goal, I think, here for Meghan.
Copying Martha Stewart, copying the recipe of Corey Vitello, the chef she dated, copying the work of other people, copying even the work of famous British novel writers, is something of a trademark for Meghan Markle, because she doesn't know how to produce anything on her own. It is always about copy. And when she gets caught, of course, she doesn't open her mouth. But I think that it has reached to a point where a lot of lawsuits are coming on Meghan's way. I think the reason they are not suing Meghan Markle at the moment is because of her connection in the Hollywood or in politics, or it could be that they don't want to bother with Prince Harry. As we know, Harry is someone who loves litigations, who loves to fight people, and he found a passion in it for some weird, strange reason that he will take everybody to the court. So there could be many reasons, but I think once the titles have been taken away, and obviously the titles, they weigh against any accusation, against any claim against the duplicitous duos, Meghan and Harry, because at the end of the day, they're still being called Duke and Duchess, and sometimes some people even unfortunately refer them as HRH. But once the title is gone, once William takes that away, then people will have more room and more willingness to take on Meghan and Harry and take them to the court for all the copying, the plagiarism that they're doing right now. But something we will have to find out in the future. Thank you guys for your comments. Peachy, Keen, PR Manning, thank you guys. Leave a comment in the comment section. Linda, Karina, Golden. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.